Is it recording? Is it? You can't not answer.
See, you feel stupid when I don't answer.
What? That's how you're going to start the podcast? We just had such a nice time.
We did. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
My name is Mauro.
And I'm Dan.
And this is the most wonderful day of our lives.
No, this is
Cool animal people. But also a very awesome day because we got to talk with Shannon Wild.
Yeah, what?
And
what a cool person.
we talked for an hour and a half.
No, we ended up talking for
like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to say.
Shannon does some of the most incredible work. So just to run off some things from her bio. So she's an award-winning wildlife photographer, cinematographer. She's written 3 books. She's worked for National Geographic, Nat Geo Wild, United Nations, Converse. She works with the Wild Tomorrow Fund, the Perfect World Foundation,
Right.
Wild Aid. She has her amazing organization, Wild in Africa, which are these beautiful bracelets for wildlife. She also works very much with
Red.
which Mauro was
The cameras.
losing
Because
his
she's a
marbles
cinematographer.
about.
And there's a fun little nitbit of information in there.
There's a lot of really cool stories, actually.
A lot of cool stories. She's super tough.
Yeah, like way tougher than
Way
me.
tougher than all of us combined. She got bit by something. That's
She
all I'll
did.
say.
And collapsed somewhere.
And she fell somewhere.
And
Sorry, Shannon, if we're downplaying your horrible injuries.
you'll hear the actual stories.
But she's done just a lot of amazing work when it comes to, because it's a tough industry, the nature photographer, cinematography business.
Yeah.
And if you want to check her out, her Instagram, Shannon__wild. You can just type
Just
in
look up
Shannon
Wild.
Wild. Some of the best photos, nature photos that you'll ever see are on that account. So go follow them.
Beautiful, beautiful work.
Yeah.
And definitely don't forget to go follow Wild in Africa. Check out the amazing work they're doing. But honestly, if you have any interest in conservation, wildlife photography, cinematography, anything pertaining to just really, really cool and incredible animals all across this beautiful planet of ours, you're going to enjoy what we talked about today.
Also, she's super nice.
Yeah,
So-
we never know what exactly
We're getting
the kind
into.
of person we're going to, and we've been very lucky. Everyone we've spoken to has been fantastic, but we're always really excited afterwards that it's like, oh, that was like a normal, nice, fun
just a great
conversation.
conversation. Also, she's now the second person we've interviewed that has been to Komodo Island.
You know who
So-
hasn't been to Komodo Island?
Us.
Us.
So if you want to sponsor a trip for us to Komodo Island, we would not object.
Yeah, BuzzFeed.
If you're watching BuzzFeed.
Mr. and Mrs. BuzzFeed.
But
Do not
for
forget.
now, enjoy this conversation with Shannon, who is wonderful.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with quite possibly one of the coolest guests that we have had on Cool Animal People. She is an award-winning wildlife photographer, cinematographer. She's written 3 books and possibly has one of the coolest jobs on earth. Ladies and gentlemen, the incredible Shannon Wild. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. That is a very intimidating explanation to live up to.
You cannot let anybody down. You have to live up to all the expectations that I just set. I'm just happy
So
I
much
didn't
pressure.
ruin the intro.
You got through it.
I got through it, and now we can just be regular people. To start, for those listeners and people watching who don't know who you are, can you give them a little bit of a background about all the amazing things that you do?
Sure. So my name is Shannon Wild, and I'm very lucky to be a wildlife photographer and filmmaker. I'm an Aussie that now lives in South Africa. And yeah, I get paid to go and document wildlife in its natural habitat. So yeah, very, very lucky. It's been a journey, though.
Possibly, yeah, we talked about this. The coolest job you could possibly, I like how you said documenting wildlife, because, you know, wildlife is something that is happening and you get to be there while it's happening and record it and show us that we would never, you know, people that would never get to see those things in real life.
Yeah.
And very beautifully, by the way, because you're shot.
Thank you.
We're gonna put some as we're talking about this. We're gonna put some pictures and some videos being taken in the background.
These are not shot on iPhone.
Not shot on iPhone. Also, do not attempt to go like she's very far from this tiger and, and this lion.
I've seen the footage of her with the Komodo dragon.
Don't give it away. We'll talk about the proximity. But how did this start? Because
Yes.
I feel like it just didn't. You just thought, hey, I want to go take pictures of some animals, and you just went. Like it had to have
What's
like
the
some build
origin
up.
story?
Give me your villain or superhero origin story.
I think, can I be like a mix of both?
Please.
All over.
Great. So it's been a very convoluted journey. And like you said, it wasn't something that I kind of just decided and then did it. It's a very niche industry, so it's incredibly hard to make a living out of. So that part took a long time, but I didn't initially set out to do this specifically. So I remember always loving animals and wildlife in general. Like I was the kid that was running around chasing lizards and bugs and, all the
Us
things.
too.
Yes.
True
So,
herpers.
it's like an innate thing.
Yeah.
I think it's in there. And then I've also always had this creative side. So growing up, I dabbled with a few ideas. Do I want to go down the path of maybe, veterinary science, or do I want to do something creative? And I actually went the creative route and became a graphic designer. And I did that for about 9 years. And towards the end of that career, I'd become an art director, and I wasn't being as creative anymore. I was managing people, other creatives essentially, right. and photographers. And I happened to get a camera for the design studio I was working with, and I was naturally inclined when I wasn't working to go out and photograph wildlife and animals. And I also had pet reptiles. And so naturally at home, I wanted to photograph them, and it kind of just evolved from there. And so I don't have any formal training in photography or cinematography. Wow. But in saying that, you can access so much. If you're passionate and interested in something, you can access the information. Right. Certainly for me, this was like 2004. So there wasn't really social media. There certainly wasn't Instagram. So for me, it was photography magazines and books and looking at all kinds of other photography images. So not necessarily just wildlife photographers, but anything that stood out to me. And I would try to reverse engineer it and, work out why I liked it. And I think that's how I kind of found my own style after a few years. It definitely took a few years to kind of get there, because when you first pick up a camera, you're just photographing everything.
Oh, yeah.
And, the style kind of develops after a while. So I feel like it took me a good 5 to 7 years to really lock that in. And my style being, I love really vibrant, punchy color. I love to separate my subject from its background, so I shoot very shallow. Composition is really important to me, and I think that's from my graphic design background. I'm always thinking very graphically when I shoot. So I quickly realized that I enjoyed photography a lot more than graphic design. And so I made a conscious decision then to try to build that into a career, but it was very, very gradual. A lot of free work, a lot of volunteer stuff, and then eventually getting little paid jobs here and there and trying to build on that. So it took a few years, and then I eventually left my graphic design job. And then it still took quite a few years before I could really pay my bills with photography. I photographed everything in the beginning, to pay the bills. I photographed corporate, industrial, food, everything, just because it all builds on your skills as a photographer. And then I started a pet photography business called Wet Nose Photos. Yeah, back in Australia. And I ran that for about 7 years, actually, right up until I left to move to Africa. And that was an amazing way to really hone my skills in terms of working with animals, but also, just subjects in general that are moving, very dynamic. And it was a nice uh, introduction into, working with dogs especially. I could utilize treats and toys and all the things, and I had a squeaky attached to my camera, and I would squeak it and get the ear prick and all the things. So I had a little bit more control over the subject, but I also photographed it, so it was very free and natural, which really gave me a solid foundation into wildlife where I really can't dictate anything. I just have to go with the flow and have, the technical skills to try to capture whatever happens in front of me. So, yeah. So then that's 18 years now.
Wow.
So you're into this. You like it.
You like it.
Committed.
I mean, yeah,
You're still figuring it out. All right.
I love the creative pipeline of you photographing a dog and then just moving on to a Komodo dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean, reptiles are the ultimate.
Exactly.
Should we just talk about Komodo Island?
Might as well.
I don't know if I could hold it back anymore. So there are two places on Earth that I'm losing my mind about being able to go. So Madagascar, which I saw you've taken some beautiful photos there.
Yes.
And Komodo Island.
I
want to hear
I highly recommend
everything about Komodo first.
Yeah, okay. Two of my favorite places in the world. So really great choices because the animals are so unique.
Right.
I mean, yeah, Madagascar is, I've been there many, many times, and oh my goodness. I mean, there's chameleons, all different reptiles. There's lemurs, which are found nowhere else. I mean, it has fossa. It's
oh my God.
Yeah, it's amazing. So that never gets old. I really love Madagascar. And then Komodo. Such great memories. So I've been to Komodo Island twice. So the first time I went was in 2013. 2013. As I was leaving Australia, I decided I'm moving to Africa. So I went to Komodo
just hit it on the way.
And I spent a month.
Yeah. It's en route.
Yeah, it's a little detour.
So I spent a month, not specifically on Komodo, but a month in Indonesia, and then went on to South Africa and never came home. So that's essentially how I moved here. And then I was lucky enough to go back. So I was only photographing on that first trip. Mm-hmm. I didn't start filming until I actually got to Africa and sort of started expanding my career. So I've been, only filming for 7 years or so.
Okay.
8 years. So then when I went back a few years ago, 2017, I forget, maybe 2017.
We'll fact check you.
2018. Anyway, it's all a blur.
Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah. Yeah, so I actually went back to film, which is where you would have seen the behind-the-scenes footage and pictures, because we also had a documentary crew there filming my husband and I working. So
shout out to Russell.
Magical. I mean, this yes. So actually, fun fact: the first time I went to Komodo Island, I met Russell the first time in person in Bali.
Oh, wow.
We'd communicated online,
that's
had met on Instagram, communicated online for a little while. Oh, wait. So
there's more.
We met, so we met in person for the first time in Denpasar Airport in Bali on a Thursday, and we were married by the following Thursday.
Oh my God.
In Bali.
So you just jumped right in.
That's amazing.
A week later. And then spent a month there. And he's also reptile crazy, so it's like a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Meant to be.
And obviously also a wildlife cinematographer. And then I came back to South Africa with him and never left.
Never came back.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That should be a documentary or a movie in and of itself.
So how did you guys originally meet then? Was it
Instagram.
through Instagram?
Wow.
Good
That's
old
awesome.
Instagram.
An Instagram comment and changed the course
From
of my life.
not even a DM, just a comment.
No, it was a comment first. Then
And
it
then
went
it
to the
evolved
DMs.
into a DM.
Who
Then it
DM'd
went
who
to like
first?
video.
Yeah, who DM'd first? Who DM'd first?
It was you?
It was me.
Good for you.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I
Oh
hate
my
saying,
God.
admitting
That's
that.
awesome. We had no idea. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, when you meet like someone that likes reptiles as much as you, and they're also a nature cinematographer, like,
And you're in Indonesia.
yeah, come on,
I feel like you
Yeah.
kind of realize, like, all right,
he's pretty cool.
Maybe I'll meet someone who's into the exact same stuff and is in the exact same place as me, but
You know, something that humans strive for their entire lifetimes.
let's try this one out. It looks like you guys genuinely love what you do. Like you seem
so
to be a
much.
very happy, positive person, but like you can tell when you watch somebody work that they truly love. Like you're smiling, unless it's all
When
for
an
the cameras.
apex predator is like 20 centimeters
Yes.
from your face.
Yeah, like when something that can absolutely eat you, crush your bones, and swallow you can do that, and you are just the biggest grin. What is that like? What was it like
That's
realizing
what
that
I'm
dream?
happiest.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I still pinch myself. I mean, even where I live in South Africa, I have giraffe and zebra walking by the house. It's
we
ridiculous.
can visit.
Yeah, can we come visit?
I mean,
We'll stay
it's
outside.
funny because there's moments where I pinch myself, and then there are a lot of the time I just kind of forget how amazing all this is
Right.
until I see other people that aren't, it's not their day to day and come in, and I'm just like, yeah, wow. Like, I mean, Africa is next level. I mean, Australia is incredible for wildlife and especially reptiles and all sorts of things, but Africa definitely has my heart. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an incredible place. I got to spend some time in Kenya. So I started a nonprofit with a couple of buddies of mine from high school, and we ended up building a children's home in Nyahururu, which is in like the central province. So I got to spend a ton of time there, and it was my first time getting to see lions, elephants, baboons, like all these animals like in the wild. And it's just like,
Yeah.
I've never seen these animals
How
before.
they should
like until
be.
It is the most like overwhelming. It felt like I was in The Lion King. Like we're like driving in Masai Mara, and it's just like this exists. How do people? How is everyone not like screaming to protect every aspect of this? Because when you get to actually see it in person, it's incredible. But like the work that you do, being able to, not everyone can just be like, all right, I'm gonna go to Africa for a couple weeks. Not everyone can do that. Like it's so important
that,
being able to like share that in a way that's like, because you see different documentaries and stuff like that. Not everything's always shot well, not edited well. Just the images and seeing these animals in their real environment, and there are plenty of zoos that do a good job
like you said,
but
documenting, not intervening at all. Just there for the nature.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that starts out as obviously that's a passion and a privilege for me to get to be there. And then as time goes on, it becomes more of a responsibility that you have to do something with it, because you see the destruction and you see the interference and all the challenges that wildlife is facing on many different levels. And it goes beyond just the selfish aspect that I get to enjoy it. And so then it becomes about trying to share it with as many people as possible. and hopefully, spark that happiness that it does spark in me. I'm hoping to kind of convey that in the footage and the images so that people become curious and maybe want to learn more, or maybe it's a subject that isn't something that they'd normally like a snake, for example.
Yeah.
I get that people are, can be terrified of that.
Oh, yeah.
But hopefully there are ways that, knowing it's just a picture and you're not physically there, that you can step back and take a moment to appreciate how incredibly beautiful that animal is.
Yeah.
But you don't have to interact with it to appreciate it. So, yeah, it's a double-edged sword because I get to see some really tough stuff, but the majority of what I try to focus on is the beauty and the positivity of it, as opposed to more of a reported style photographer. I'm really focused on showcasing the beauty and trying to bring some wonder and interest to people.
Well, you definitely are. I mean, for me growing up, I was, Jeff Corwin, Jack Hanna, David Attenborough, all those guys. I failed out my freshman year of college because I wasn't partying, wasn't out drinking, doing drugs, fighting. I was literally sitting in my dorm watching Jeff Corwin's show and eating Oreos and just not going to class. That was why I got kicked out my first semester. So
what did you study?
I was pre-med originally. I ended up graduating years later from another school.
Oh, wow.
I did biology and entrepreneurship because eventually the plan is vet school.
Amazing.
So that
Which,
is.
do you want to ask your question now regarding vet school?
So every one of our guests, I have asked if they'd be willing to write me a letter of recommendation for vet school, and I am going to look for a commitment on camera. You can make the decision by the end of the podcast if you think I am a
absolutely,
good person.
100%.
We got number
You can't
3.
dictate what I write.
No, you write it.
I can't guarantee what I'll write.
As long as it's halfway decent, like, all right, he seems like an okay person.
I feel like with Evan Anton and you, he's in.
Yeah. So far we got Dr. Anton on board, and then we got Dr. Pohl. So we got the trifecta right here. But
I want to go back to the topic of you giving back, because I'm going to segue.
Oh, I was gonna loop back at the end.
I was going to segue to here.
We're just doing it right in. All right.
Yeah, you have a passion for giving back through Wild in Africa. What is Wild in Africa?
Yes.
Can you talk about it? Oh, you're wearing
Amazing.
them.
Thank you.
Dan actually has our social media guy is over in the UK, and he actually bought a bunch, and I think he put.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he loves. We actually have
amazing.
2 people who absolutely adore you. So Dan, otherwise known as UK Dan,
Because he's in the UK.
and then
Hi, Dan.
a member of our team, Noah, is a fantastic photographer. Was just flipping out when he found out that we were interviewing you. So Noah and Dan both
amazing.
adore your work.
Hi, Noah.
Noah, there is your shout out. Back to the
That's
bracelets.
awesome.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, so it was an interesting story because I tend to not do things by halves. I kind of go all in, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. And
Always a good thing.
So I moved here in 2013. And then after like a decade working as a professional photographer in Australia, and I was known and my work was known, and I was getting into a comfortable spot, and I sold everything, moved to Africa, brought my cameras, and essentially had to start again because nobody knew who I was. They didn't know my work.
Yeah.
I didn't have a body of work that represented Africa. So I essentially kind of started all over again, doing a lot of free work and networking and that kind of thing. And about 3 years in, I'd worked myself to complete exhaustion. So I was just getting to the point where I feel like I was just starting to get paid work. I was making a name for myself. I felt like I was just starting to reap the benefits of all the work I'd put in. And I was actually in the Masai Mara, and at the beginning of a shoot, and I'd been so sick for like leading up to that, and I just kept pushing through then finally, my body just gave out and I collapsed like in the bush by myself. I was walking to somewhere where there were people, and I don't know how long I was there for. A while. I had like gravel embedded in my face by the time I was found. And then I ended up bedridden, like hospitalized. I had to get medevaced out to Nairobi and then hospital, and then bedridden for almost 6 months, like solid 3 months. And then the next few months was just, very gradually kind of getting my strength back. Yeah. And so by the 3-month mark, my mental clarity had come back, but physically I wasn't there yet. So I was very creatively frustrated at this point. I'd just spent all this time meeting all these amazing conservation organizations, getting out, seeing all these incredible animals, photographing them. And, I felt like I was finally living my dream, and now I'm literally stuck in bed, not able to do anything. Yeah. And so I just was looking for something to do, and I had all these bracelets that I'd collected from all my travels. And so I just broke some apart and started like re-beading them. And then I thought maybe this could be a way if I could sell them, because by this time I have a bit of a platform. Maybe then I can raise some money for the charity, the wildlife conservation organizations that I'd met and worked with over these previous 3 years. And so that was a way that I could still give back without physically being in the field, because I didn't know how long my recovery was going to be. I didn't really know what the future held. And with the graphic design background, I was able to do all the marketing and the website and all that kind of stuff. And it just kind of took off from there. It did a lot better than I expected. And so I really committed to that. And now we have 13 charities on board, and the charities that we collaborate with are only people and organizations that I've physically worked with in the field, like that I know, that I trust. I've seen the work that they do, and so I know where that money is going. So then I generally, for each charity, I'll design a custom bracelet. So I'll design a custom pendant, which will relate to the charity. So for example, I'm wearing, so I have a lion.
You have a couple of them
now.
on.
That's cool.
I do. I have a few.
She's committed.
So depending on depending on if you want to purchase based on the look of the bracelet or the charity itself, there's a whole mix of different things from, carnivore programs in Zambia. This one supports. There's habitat protection here in South Africa. There's rhino conservation. There's equine rescue, all sorts of things. So yeah,
there's some really cool ones.
I'm currently scrolling through all of them.
We're both looking at them.
They're amazing. For those interested, wildandafrica.store. It's right here.
The link will be in the show notes.
And the link will be in the show notes. They're gorgeous.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
And luckily I can photograph them all myself.
You got the marketing and branding stuff covered.
Did you hire a photographer for?
How intimidating would that be?
Imagine.
We need you to take some pictures.
Hey, come take pictures of me. It was like,
Oh, the pangolin one. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I love hearing how this started. Like it literally started with you collapsing from doing what you love.
Doing too much.
And then you go on to do more.
Right.
Winners never quit.
Winners never quit.
Yeah. We're slow learners. I'm right there too with you on that one.
I wanted to talk about the physical aspect of your job. I feel like a lot of people don't touch on the fact that it's tolling to travel,
beats the shit out of you,
to walk for miles to get the right shot. How do you prepare for those kinds of shoots?
I mean, it's just exhausting.
You just go.
I mean, honestly, I think at the end of the day, for me, it's just running purely on adrenaline and enthusiasm because I am not a very well person anymore. Like certainly, oh man, there's so many stories. I can't even begin. I do need to write a book. I picked up so many illnesses in my travels, so much exhaustion. I've broken my back on a shoot. I've the collapsing, I mean, and then I found out at the same time when I collapsed that I have a heart condition. Oh my God, so it's just like all these things. So I literally go out, work, I'm exhausted, I come back, I'm just running on like pure happiness in the moment. And then I pay for it later.
Living life and
life fueled by happiness.
What other way to like live is there, right?
Yeah.
Would you rather be?
And I still wouldn't trade it.
Yeah, like you wouldn't want to be stuck at a desk job, like editing photos and stuff like that. Like you'd go crazy.
I couldn't.
No.
Not anymore.
You mentioned the back. Now I heard a little bit of this story. Would you want to tell the story? Because that was pretty.
Oh sure.
That was pretty intense.
The setting was really beautiful.
That's more not.
It's nice to have a nice backdrop when you have a life-threatening injury. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, yeah. So I was in India shooting a documentary for National Geographic on a melanistic leopard, so a black panther, which is, the blanket term that we give to a melanistic big cat.
Yeah.
And there was this one individual male in this very large forest in southwest India. And Russ and I had come across pictures on Instagram of this cat by an incredible photographer called Shaz Jung. And we literally saw this and said, we have to make a film on this cat because there has never been a professionally shot documentary on how like melanistic leopards survive in the wild. Yeah. We have plenty of photographs and footage of them in captivity. They're bred quite often, but actually out in the wild. So we pitched it to National Geographic, who obviously greenlit it. And then we went over and spent 18 months.
Wow.
I didn't spend 18 months, but I started, had a little accident, and then I did go back and finish. But I think I was maybe, 6 months, maybe a bit longer like 8 months into filming. And we would just go out every day in this incredibly dense, beautiful forest. But we're looking for this one cat who, is a leopard, so they're elusive already. Yeah. And we're not looking for kind of any leopard we can find to film and build a general documentary on.
The leopard.
The one individual. One. So, I mean, we needed every bit of that 18 months. And 18 months was dictated by budget. I mean, we could have spent another 18 months just trying to get interesting footage, because it's one thing to, find him. It's another thing for him to be doing anything interesting.
Yeah.
And also be in a position that we can physically film. There were a lot of restrictions we had, like very narrow dirt roads in the forest. Like I said, it was very thick. So unless he chose to reveal himself in these small areas sort of close to the vehicle or up in a tree where we actually had line of sight, I mean, he could be right inside the bushes and we'd never even know it. No, it was crazy. Wow. So yeah, we'd go out looking every day, and it was, he's so beautiful. I mean, definitely if you find one of my pictures, put a picture of him up.
Oh,
because
definitely.
There's a shot of him in full profile. Yeah. A shot of him in profile, and the sun is hitting him, and you can actually see his spots. So it's like a different level of black on black. And then in the shade, he's just like this solid silhouette. It's incredible. So, finding him is tricky. And so anytime there's like word of sighting, we got super excited. we had two vehicles, and essentially Russ would be in one, I'd be in the other. We'd go different directions each day and hedge our bets. And so we got word that there was a sighting of him. And so my driver really enthusiastically started driving towards it. And he hit this bump in the dirt road that he just didn't see. And it's just an open back vehicle with a bench seat, and I'm sort of straddled around camera gear that's physically bolted into the vehicle because it's so massive.
Yeah.
And I just went flying and came down very hard. And I knew immediately that something was really very wrong, but I managed to finish that day. We missed the sighting, of course, but finished that day shot. And then, missed the shot. Didn't even see him. By the time we got there, it was like he was gone, which has happened all the time. And it turns out I'd fractured a few vertebrae and had 4 bulging discs and a lot of nerve damage. So I think I went to the hospital the next day, which was like a very bumpy 1.5-hour drive to the nearest town, to have a neurologist there not even look at me, not look at my back, touch anything. No. He literally made a joke about overdoing some yoga and then said, "You're fine." Made me resist his hands. And that was it. Didn't take me seriously at all. And I'm not like in that situation, I'm not a dramatic person. So I was, I kept it together. I wasn't like wailing or, making a scene or anything. So he's just like, "Yeah, you're fine."
I would be wailing.
Oh yeah.
He would. Yeah.
I'm
He's a huge baby.
A tad dramatic. Like I can deal with stuff when I really have to, but if it's not like a life or death situation, I tend to be on the dramatic side.
So how did you get proper treatment if they didn't believe you?
So I left, did the 1.5-hour drive back. I spent a few days in bed in my little shack in the forest. And then I thought, maybe, because then, the swelling is starting to kick in. But then after sort of 5 days, I'm like, maybe it's getting better. I'll go out filming today. And I end it, and the roads are so bumpy, I can't even tell you. So I immediately regretted that decision. But once I was out, I kind of tried to finish that whole afternoon, and I ended up throwing up off the vehicle because I was in so much pain.
Oh my God.
And so then the next day, we're like, okay, I really should go back to the hospital. And finally, we do MRIs and find all of the things. So, yeah.
I just imagine the drive there, you're like, easy. Going 5 miles an hour.
And the crazy... Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, even then, when I found out how bad it was, I thought, like a few months, it's going to be fine. I'll be back to it. So I was out, and I was off shooting for maybe 9 months. And I was still not great, but I was making some progress. And our, documentary was coming to an end the time that we had. So I'm like, I'm getting back out there. I need to I don't want to let this thing end without seeing him again and, contributing to this film. So I went back over. I just managed to get off painkillers by then. Went back over. First day out, I'm straight back on the really hardcore painkillers. And managed to just mess it up again, but did a solid few weeks and got him mating in the trees and some really great footage. All made it in, so into the final documentary. Yeah. So I then kind of did a bit more damage really, and am still in physio now 3 times a week, 3.5 years later. So yeah.
How often, when you deal with doctors, are they yelling at you for doing the things that you do?
You have to stop.
No, I'm not going to do that.
I get a lot of eye rolls.
Can you give me something? Because I have to go to Borneo.
I mean, I think I have a very high threshold for pain now at this point.
It sounds like it. I tweaked my back recently.
It's got to be pretty bad.
And I was on the floor for 8 hours. I'm like, I can't move.
I know.
Yeah, but I didn't have crushed
It's
vertebrae.
awful.
Like I was being a bit of a baby. My poor fiance has to deal with me whenever I get injured, and
Shame.
she would
Oh my
appreciate
gosh,
how
Russ
how
is
tough
exactly
you are.
the same.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a man baby.
Well, so is Russ.
Russ,
Trust me.
I'm on your
Like,
side, man.
If it's the flu, yeah, the world is ending.
Oh,
right,
okay.
we're-
So me and
If
Russ are the
only-
same person.
If only
then.
you knew.
We gotta have Russ on
Yeah.
next to see what he says about you.
Yeah, we gotta hear Russ's side of the story. There's always three sides to a story.
Exactly.
So this sounds like it was your worst injury you've sustained, right?
So far.
So
Yes.
far. Well, no.
Yes.
Let's keep her happy
No, no.
and physically healthy.
Battle scars, Dan.
It's
Battle scars.
literally, that's exactly what I say, actually. It's like, yeah, so far, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, up until, so a year after I moved to South Africa, I was mauled by a cheetah. And then my husband was filming as it happened. So we have it all on film.
At least he documented
Is
it,
this
though.
publicly available?
Yeah, there's
Exactly. He's doing his job. I mean, I would have killed him if he didn't at least document it.
I mean, yeah. Like,
So-
what do you mean? You didn't put the
It
memory
wasn't
card
on?
in?
Yeah, you didn't.
What do you mean you didn't charge the
Yeah,
fucking
you
camera?
didn't get the shot. So I literally say on camera, I think he said to me something like, this is your worst injury. And I literally said to him on camera, so far.
So far.
So I was just laying the foundation. But yeah.
Oh man.
So you got bitten by a cat.
Just a domestic short hair, a little baby
got
cat.
bitten by- yeah. We'll show the picture of the puncture wounds because it's gnarly. It's cool to see.
Have you? Yeah, you did see it.
Oh yeah,
We did see it, of
That
course.
was
Yeah.
a cool one.
We do our research here. Especially when it's stuff like that.
yeah,
Nice segue
any
there.
sort of fun bites or anything like that, we always want to check those out.
If you had to pick the next animal that you get bitten by, what would it be? Quick, go.
Ooh.
Well, it's got to be something good because
Yeah, we need a
we
qualifier.
can't have
Is it
boring
like
stories anymore.
for pain or was it for best content?
No, for the fact that you can say, "Hey, blank bit me."
Yeah,
You know?
I feel
Okay.
like I've done the pain thing.
Yeah.
I'm
Sounds
good.
like it.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I think
So we
it'd
can
just
skip
be
the
for like
pain.
show next time.
Just for the story.
Yeah.
You know?
Just for for the gram.
Exactly.
Like
It's
a
for the-
Komodo
it's for the
dragon without
gram.
bacteria. a clean mouth Komodo dragon, I would get bitten.
Fresh from the dentist.
Oh man, I do not want to be bitten by one of those.
Oh no.
no, thank you.
Nope.
Oh,
I wouldn't
they
even do it for
shred.
Instagram.
They don't even
I'd
bite.
be
They shred.
Missing a limb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still can't get over
That
how
would be
close you were to
hectic.
them. Like
Yeah,
that
you
image
were
just burned
the
in my
shot.
brain.
The shot of you with the red camera right on the shore on the water, and the Komodo dragon coming up and just casually licking the camera.
Yeah.
Yes, licking the lens.
Like,
yeah.
Like I know
mean,
I see the ranger in the back with the stick, the Komodo's worst enemy.
Exactly, yes.
But like, I don't understand how you can get so close and you just see your smile. Like, hello.
Man, I mean, it's literally the ultimate for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Komodos in the wild. But I think it's an energy as well, like
Yeah.
what you're physically and
Right.
chemically projecting, the animal picks up on. And certainly, reptiles have body language just like cats and dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Big
Yeah.
cats, all of it have. They're just, it's usually more subtle and they're a bit different to mammals. And so because I've worked with reptiles, I mean, for decades, I've worked with
Yeah.
reptiles and love reptiles and lizards especially. And so, there's all these like little nuances that you can pick up on. So I was very relaxed in that situation because I could tell the dragons were relaxed. We did
Yeah.
have a time where they were feeding and that we were filming, and so that's where you just kind of you stay
Right,
out of
back
their
off.
way
Take
because
3 steps back.
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, they just get crazy when they're eating.
Yeah.
Even like right down to the little monitors. We have lots of different species in Australia, and I've been bitten by them. And I mean, even like tiny ones have very impressive jaw pressure.
got
I've had a
strong
knuckle
jaws.
busted.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine a Komodo. I mean, it'd be over, I think. But no, they were fully relaxed and just very curious. And you could see their body is relaxed. They're just, it's like, what is this inanimate object? And obviously they have to use their tongue to work it out. And then it's like, okay,
Just a bunch of metal.
I'm not making any dramatic, fast movements, because then you see their, yeah, exactly, plastic. Yeah. But, you can see their pupils dilate and focus, and you can see if they're focused on you or they're looking at something else. So, I mean, fascinating animals. Really impressive.
Yeah, that's both of our dreams right there.
We're trying to, so we do work with like BuzzFeed, so we're pitching them on some shows and stuff right now. And we're like, all right, so specifically Komodo Island, we want to go. How do we make this happen?
What would it take?
How do you allow us to go there, and how do we get BuzzFeed to pay for this? That's the crucial part. Is we'll go, but you guys got to foot the bill.
You would not regret it.
No,
you will not regret it. Yeah,
I was lucky enough. So like
one
of my
magic.
I feel like
exactly.
It is.
Yeah.
I hear you have a place that you have not been that I actually have been, which I was super excited to hear.
What?
The Galapagos Islands. You have not yet been, right?
So jealous. Yes, I was supposed to go last year, but obviously that didn't.
Hey, what happened last year?
What happened?
What do you
last
mean?
year?
What happened? We don't know.
We've been busy.
Yeah, we've been busy.
I just had a year off.
Good for you, like a sabbatical.
Yeah. Stayed in.
That was actually a very much needed forced break, I will say.
I feel like for everybody,
the recovery time.
Yeah. It was a bit of panic.
No, the Galapagos has been, I think, on top of my list since I was a little kid, because I remember seeing documentaries on marine iguanas and like lava lizards and like the discovery of the pink iguanas.
Oh, yes.
Which I feel like wasn't that long ago, but kind of is now. I still feel like it's fresh in my mind. I mean, I'm so annoyed that I didn't get to go. But it'll definitely happen.
You'll definitely end up.
Yeah, I feel like
destination.
You can just show up
and
there.
South America in general. I haven't been to South America at all. So many places. Pantanal. Yeah.
You got to get into the Amazon. Jinx.
Exactly. Yes. I want to find anacondas and like all the things. I want to see jaguar and
So if you need anybody to help you like carry camera equipment or like do anything,
we'll be your PAs.
My back.
Two volunteers.
My back is really sore.
I'm
exactly.
like,
I bring the massage gun.
I'll hold a boom. If you need a boom in there, I'm your boom guy. We are 100% committed to that. So the Galapagos we're on board for. Where else?
Let's make
Anywhere
it
else you guys are going, we're in. So if you need some free labor.
I am off to the Masai Mara in a couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to that again. I'll try not to collapse this time.
Yeah, stay on 2 feet.
Yeah.
Who are you going to check out when you're out there? What's the project you're working on?
So I can't really say, but there are lots of reds involved.
Okay.
And it's with a focus on the migration.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. I think
we'll see.
As it comes, it's a few weeks, so as it comes closer, I'll be allowed to say more.
Okay. I'm like 90. We'll talk afterwards, but I'm like 99% sure I figured it out, and I'm freaking out right now.
We won't give it away. It's okay.
We won't.
Can we wager on this? Because I feel like you're not going to know what it is.
Oh.
Because actually, I don't even know half the details yet.
Okay, so
there's that.
I'm not going to say what it is.
We'll wait until we're done recording.
The wager. Moro and I get to come film you filming something at one of the projects.
On an Instagram story.
Yeah.
Anytime.
All
Anytime.
Right. So if I get it right, we'll pay for ourselves, or BuzzFeed will pay.
Yeah,
for it.
I'm not paying for you.
Yeah,
guys.
BuzzFeed will pay for it.
BuzzFeed will pay for it. All right. If I get it right, we get to join you on.
I do have a big house, so
Oh,
You've got
we don't
somewhere
even
to
need
stay.
to-
We don't need
Get
lodging.
yourself-
we don't need
We'll
lodging.
sleep-
Like if
we'll
we
sleep
get to go
outside.
be with animals, like I'm very high maintenance until I get to be like out in nature, and then I'm very, very easy. So, all right, we'll talk afterwards because I'm very confident. I really hope I don't screw this up.
You're probably
Okay,
gonna screw it
nice.
up. You're gonna screw it up. No pressure, though.
I'm second guessing myself.
It's fine.
I still have time to change it, maybe.
Well, that's cheating. All right, hold on. New idea. You have to write it on a piece of paper, put it in an envelope, and seal it, and then mail it to us, so we'll know what the actual answer is in like a week or two.
Well, the beauty of that is if I send it here from South Africa, you'll never get it. So
That's true.
I'll do that.
I mean,
I heard the mail situation is a bit tough over there.
Oh man. So moving from Australia, I think like the US, it's, things kind of just work.
Yeah.
yeah.
And, if you say something's going to happen on this date, it generally does. That was a big adjustment. I'm a very kind of type A personality. So I'm like, it's got to be early. It's got to be, this has got to be done. And then, I came to Africa and I'm just like, took me like a good 12 months just to calm down.
Yeah.
Look,
get used
I take it you don't have
African
Amazon
time.
Prime.
Yeah, there's
2-day
no
shipping.
Prime now.
We absolutely do not. No.
I'm sure Jeff's working
That's
on that.
actually an interesting, probably an interesting thing trying to run a small business as well. And majority of our customers are actually in the US. And so it's a different mindset because you guys are so used to, like, you can order something and even get it the same
it's
day.
here
It just
now.
blows my mind.
Immediately, yeah.
It's amazing. Or even like the 2-day shipping.
Isn't it one
Things
day
run
now?
a little
1 day.
differently here.
Yeah, they pushed it.
That's
Amazon has
insane.
ruined everything
1 day.
with that. Like now it's like I buy it. I'm like, what do you mean it's
I
not going to be here for 3
ordered
days?
baby powder like on Monday at 5 p.m. I got it on Tuesday at noon. Delivered.
It's
insane.
Nuts.
I don't
What
understand
city
how it
are
happens.
you guys in?
But we're in Brooklyn. We're in
We're in
New York
Brooklyn
City.
right now, yeah.
So
Okay, nice.
we have a bunch of
Amazing.
warehouses. But I want to talk about the move. Was it a hard move? Like, was it just like, hey, I'm leaving, or like,
Bye, guys.
bye, or like, how
Pretty
was that
much.
experience? Because you're also going from Australia to South Africa, not Australia to New Zealand.
Yeah. So when I told my parents I'm moving to Africa, it was kind of like, what? But also, this isn't surprising.
What?
We
But
were
that makes
waiting
sense.
for
A
this.
Shannon kind of thing to do. I kind of just decided, and then that was it. And then so I started selling everything I had, and it's kind of strange. Like, usually I'm a very analytical person, so maybe too much. And whereas this was, it's almost like I was at peace with it. There was just something about it. I kind of like felt ready. I was at a point in my career where I was looking to, I need to expand my career. And Australia is kind of far away to get to all these places. So even though I am based in South Africa, I work all over
Yeah.
the world, and for wildlife, it's more of a hub for networking and connections. I was ready for a change. I was ready for the next step, and I think when you're that way inclined, you're more open to seeing potential opportunities.
Yeah.
But of course, it was very dramatic. I just was kind of in this bubble of, and I'm in love, and just decided to suddenly get married.
You had just
and
gotten
I'm like,
married.
Sure.
Too. I forgot about that.
all of it all at once, and then turn up into a country I'd never been before. I'm like, okay.
What did that
Make a life
first
here.
suitcase
And
look
get to
like?
know my husband.
What did the first suitcase look like? Was it all equipment? Like,
It was
what was
just
that?
cameras,
Just
nothing
cameras.
else.
Like, what happened?
Okay, so Russ is going to have a very different answer to this, but thankfully he's not here, so
he will be on a future episode. So you will be held accountable.
There may have been some clothes.
Okay, that's fair. You're allowed to bring some clothes when you move to another continent. And cameras.
Yeah, very practical stuff.
Right.
For sure. I'm not hugely sentimental, so it was almost refreshing to kind of sell all my belongings. The hardest thing was I had a lot of beautiful books, which were really hard to kind of give away, but they were way too heavy to bring with me. Like beautiful photographic books.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of just fresh start. Let's
just jumped in.
A true
I was
fresh
in my
start.
mid-30s. Yeah, and I was in almost mid-30s at that point, so it was very like, I felt like I was in quite a comfortable place, and then
wow, I'm an adult.
Very uncomfortable again.
I can do this.
I can do this. I'm an adult.
No one's gonna stop me.
Like, people actually do this.
Yeah.
So, and my goodness, I was so broke. Like, even at the beginning, like 12 months in, when I was mauled by the cheetah, we had
just a normal
no
sentence
money.
in a conversation. So this is after I was mauled by the cheetah.
Yeah.
Go on.
Split your life on before or after you were mauled by a cheetah.
Exactly. So this, literally, we barely had enough money to put fuel in the car to get to this shoot.
Oh my God.
That we were doing for free. So then we get there, the whole mauling happens. And of course, where it happened was in like a kind of controlled environment with a habituated cheetah. Not like something that tourists can access, but she was certainly used to her carers and, people. And she'd never sort of done anything out of character before. And I just made some really stupid mistakes in the moment and was distracted and whatnot. But anyway, after it kind of happened, obviously the people are freaking out. Yeah. And so they're like, we've got to get her to the doctor, and like kind of bundled me up, because then after all the joking, after all the joking, like, trying to make light of it, I'm good. Then I went into shock, like going to pass out, all the things. Anyway, they get me to a doctor where I sit for 20 minutes while the doctor chats with someone in the doorway, seeing me with a bandage, bloody, sitting there waiting to go in. And stitches me up, gives me
reading a magazine,
prescription for painkillers. Painkillers and antibiotics. And so the people at the place where it happened paid for the doctor. So I'm like, oh, thank goodness.
Oh, wow.
So, but then I had to go to the pharmacy, and I had to, and so I just went in by myself to get it. And so I had enough for either the painkillers or the antibiotics. And at this time, it was maybe the equivalent of $5, and I did not have it.
Oh, my God.
I was so broke.
You went with antibiotics, didn't you?
No, I went with painkillers.
Really? I expected you to go with the antibiotics.
So I've been through a lot. Give me some Oxycontin.
This was pre-broken back, so my pain tolerance wasn't quite as high.
You weren't there yet.
It really, really hurt.
You couldn't just tough out a cheetah bite, I guess.
Yeah.
So, of course, it gets infected.
Oh, yeah.
It starts turning green and stuff. So then, like a week, like maybe 5 days later, I summed up the courage to ask someone, borrowed some money from someone to go get the antibiotics. I mean, I was so broke.
But that's that's the beginning of any great
that's what I'm saying. This should be a movie.
Starting from nothing and building it up. Like, you left everything. You got to meet your future husband in person. You got married a week later. You moved to a new continent. You sold all your stuff. And then you get chewed up by a cheetah and you have no money. And then you're like, all right, do I get rid of the pain or do I let gangrene set in? I'm going to get rid of this pain and we'll deal with this later.
Exactly.
See, that is cinematic. That story in and of itself is cinematic.
It's also like a nice little love story too.
Oh, it's a fantastic love story. Oh, between the cheetah
Yeah.
and
the cheetah and your bicep.
We did have a moment, I will say. Like those 20 seconds that she was locked onto my arm.
You made eye contact.
It was like slow motion.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I kind of looked down and I'm like, she's so soft. And she was purring.
You are exactly where you should be in life. You are perfectly built for what you do.
She's so... Can we keep her?
This is a trainable behavior. We can work through this.
This is just reactivity. That's it. We just need a clicker and some patience. Oh my God. That is incredible.
I mean, the adrenaline was doing weird things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We had a moment.
Yeah. That Disney slow-mo scene where it's just like the background turns into just... It's like Fantasia in the background. It's just lights and everything. Oh, man.
I think that's actually called shock.
What a scene. That's shock.
What was actually
that is
happening.
shock.
Yes, exactly.
If you were seeing dancing hippos, that was the adrenaline just popped something.
Dancing elephants from Dumbo.
Yeah.
Oh my God! What a story! What a story! That is unbelievable.
I think as far as our podcast goes, this might be the best bite story we've had.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah, you nailed it.
You definitely have the crown for best
Mission
bite story.
accomplished.
So future guests, you got some big shoes to fill.
This is what you got to live up to.
We should actually have like a scoreboard for like best bite.
But please, this is only situational. Do not willingly go out to try to one-up Shannon. Please. I feel like we need to say that.
And no CGI.
No CGI either.
CGI.
Yeah, we need witnesses, and if you're going to do it, document it.
Yeah,
that being said, we are not endorsing anything, but if you do it, our email is, what is it?
Animals
at dancepetcare.com. I really hope somebody doesn't do this. Oh my.
You are going to get an influx.
I know. I just hope this doesn't end up in court.
I really hope it doesn't end up in court.
So
we're just joking.
Yeah,
we're just joking.
Don't actually get yourself injured.
You've taken pictures of a few animals in your life.
At least 3.
At least 3, and that's not a wrong answer. What is there an animal that you haven't yet photographed that you would like to? That you are just itching for?
Who is your white whale?
Yeah.
I should know this already.
Oh, we stumped you?
I really want to see.
That was a good question.
Jaguar hunting caiman, but I know I'm going to be really
that is
great answer.
Very specific.
Yeah,
that's a great answer.
Because I've seen footage and because I love reptiles so much. So it's not that it's any less difficult to watch any predation. But, usually everyone's rooting for the mammal, and I'm like, reptile, go. But in this case...
So you
would... Yeah, the outcome wouldn't matter in that situation. I feel like
it'd be incredible.
You would be rooting for the... would be rooting for the caiman, but... that scene in and of itself would be unbelievable.
So much power, and, it'd be amazing.
Right.
All right, so... Jaguar eating a caiman.
I can't think of anything better.
Caiman
I can't even think of my own answer because I now that has become my answer
for what you'd want to document.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of what I would want to see.
A T-Rex.
All right,
biting
childhood. Yeah, right.
Right.
You didn't tell her that it included extinct animals.
Oh no.
Game changer.
Yeah, a T-Rex would be pretty cool.
Now I'm thinking about Jurassic Park, but I don't want to bring that into this conversation.
No. Well, now I'm trying to figure out what animal I would lose my mind to see in the wild. Honestly, you've done it.
The Komodo. For me, it would be the Komodo.
It's
Komodo feeding.
Between Komodos, and there's just something about an orangutan in the wild.
Yeah.
Yes.
They are just such magnificent and strong, but just beautiful. They're so stoic looking.
I love them.
They just look zen.
Yeah, just full of wisdom.
If you do Komodo, then you just have to sneak over to Borneo as well.
Oh,
Same
yeah.
trip.
If we're going to Komodo, we're going to Borneo. Eden, if you are listening, just shoot that up the chain of command at BuzzFeed. We are going to pop by Borneo as well. They're not.
I take photos. I can take photos.
Oh,
there we go. Yeah.
we have a photographer and a cinematographer.
I know how to
BuzzFeed,
use
this
a
is coming
phone.
together.
Yeah. This is, I think there's something.
Yeah, something happening with BuzzFeed and
BuzzFeed doesn't know what they got themselves into
I
with
know.
bringing us on.
it's just we're just very like excited about doing things in front of a camera.
Just
so
anything.
Just like if you put us like in the Amazon, just looking at not even like big animals, just beetles and ants.
Oh, dude,
we would
some
lose
of
our
the
minds.
most amazing insects are in the Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. Like we would lose our
Yeah.
minds. It doesn't even have to be life threatening. Like
No, you need something dangerous in there for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean,
she's not gonna want to come check it out if she can't.
it's-
I'll hold a
die.
Black Widow.
It can't be boring.
Well, don't. Yeah,
Exactly.
Like, don't touch it.
I mean,
It might bite you.
I want to pet a Komodo dragon. I know I can't. But
I have
would
touched
love
a
to.
tail.
Pretty fast though.
Oh, did you?
See, you can touch
might have
them.
touched
Like
the
you
tail.
shouldn't.
Is that legal, or did you disclose like
we
a
have to
federal
edit this
crime
out?
in Indonesia?
I
Do we have
mean, the guide was there.
to- is that a crime? Oh, okay.
We are
All right.
huge in Indonesia, so
We're good. Yeah.
that's
We got
that's
some
like our
listeners
number
out
one,
there.
our number one fan
Yeah.
base is
If the
Indonesia.
Indonesian government listens to this, you better watch out.
And so modest.
All right, she's figuring us out early.
Imagine just like talking to someone and say, "Yeah, I touched the Komodo dragon's tail once."
My favorite part of this conversation so far has been so after the cheetah bit me, just casually working that one in.
I want to have stories like that, but I'm a baby.
We will. We are not going to stop harassing BuzzFeed.
Okay.
Now Shannon has our back, so we got to get a couple
Okay.
more people.
There's
to
plenty of time.
Yeah, we're
Plenty
going to
of
figure
time.
this out.
That's true. But we gotta sell everything and move somewhere.
Well, not if BuzzFeed pays for it.
Oh, not a
That's
BuzzFeed
the
place
whole
for it.
thing. Is like,
Do you have anything that you're working on that you can talk about?
yeah, what can you talk about that you're working on or have worked on recently? What's not a secret and under contract?
Okay.
There we go. We got it.
The last project I did is completely secret.
Oh.
So I'm trying to think what I did before that.
I know what it is.
I mean, it hasn't been the busiest year,
Right.
to be
Sabbatical, I
honest.
forgot. Yes.
Yeah. I did a cheetah shoot in earlier this year, which was very, very fun and interesting here in South Africa. So even though I couldn't really leave the country, that was nice. Like to get back out. Gosh, I mean, there's things coming up, but I can't talk about it.
All right.
I'm
There's a
like
few things that are going to come out like
99.9.
all at once.
Anything with like Disney Plus or like,
Does it rhyme with Schmizni?
ooh, maybe I'm onto something. I don't know. Maybe. I'm pretty well versed in the world of streaming. I know who owns who, so
There might be a few things in the works.
maybe
Yeah.
there might be. She can neither confirm or deny that.
I really
No,
I think I'm onto it.
Exactly. I'm just waiting to get Disney Plus here. We can't get it in South
Really?
Africa yet. So.
Use a VPN.
Yeah, we'll give you our login.
Yeah.
We'll give you our account.
I know.
You can use ours.
You have my HBO account,
Yeah.
We're
right?
all
Yeah.
getting sued.
Everyone has my username and password.
So when you get it, don't worry. We'll give you our username and password.
Just set up a profile for you. Again, all we want is
Awesome.
just one trip. We want to come on one trip with you and Russ. We just want to be there and we want to look. I'd take a cheetah bite. So
Yeah.
the coolest animal I've been bit by. So I've been stung by an emperor scorpion, which isn't like anything. I've been bit by a piranha,
Oh, wow.
and then
What?
yeah,
He had piranhas.
I had
as a
piranhas in
pet.
college. It was
Oh, a pet piranha.
Yeah, a pet piranha.
I swam.
Not in the wild.
I accidentally swam with piranhas in the wild, which was terrifying and totally accidental.
Oh, that's epic.
I was in the Amazon and I think I was like 17, and we were on these boats, and it was me and a bunch of other people like around my age, so no one's really not impulsive at that age. We were like, let's go swimming. Nothing could potentially go wrong here, and we are getting screamed at by somebody like on the riverbank.
Did they see the swarm?
They weren't like swarming, but they were like, there's piranhas in there, and like as I'm
God.
getting out, I'm seeing like a whole little like batch of them swimming by. I was like, okay, well, there, I did it.
I almost died.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have like, you know, it's not like it is in the movies. It's really not. They don't just like completely. Yes, they go nuts.
You
but
gotta have like a
Little bite.
little something.
you gotta
to
have
get it
something to get them
started.
A little
going.
nip.
Yeah.
And Clarence, my Savannah monitor, gave me a nip.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I need like a.
Oh, they're from Africa. Like we have them here. We call
They're
them
amazing.
rock monitors.
Like just walking around.
Yeah.
They're so prehistoric.
Yeah,
Oh
they
my
look like
God.
dinosaurs.
So big.
Yeah, he was
best.
awesome. He
that,
would just
that snout.
hang out with us. We would walk him on a leash. He loved going outside. He would hang out on the trees. We actually we almost lost our housing. I think my sophomore or freshman year of college. They were like, "You can't have all these animals in here." I'm like, "Well, in the rule book, it doesn't specifically say I cannot."
Loophole.
So there are like 15 or 16 additional rules that they put into place because of me and my roommates in college. Because they were like, you can't.
Your legacy.
Yeah, that's my legacy. Is you're not allowed to turn your kitchen into a terrarium.
There's a plaque with
Yeah.
rules about pets inspired by Dan in that dorm.
That is my legacy that I will leave on this earth. Is you're not allowed to have any lizard over a foot long at Loyola College. Man.
You're being cursed right now.
Yeah, we decided to part ways mutually, me and that school. But oh man.
Where can people?
Oh wait.
What?
I have another question for you.
Oh yeah. What's your next question?
How have the NFTs been going? I see you jumped into the
yeah.
NFT game.
Yes, still fresh, very new. I definitely see the future in it. So yeah, it's something I'm trying to promote more and get into, and build up some value to it. I mean, there's different advice coming in from a lot of different places, and it's like sell heaps off at really cheap initially, but
Yeah.
this kind of thing, I'd rather, like my fine art prints,
Yeah.
I'd rather just hold on to them and hold the value
Less is
high
more.
and wait for the right customers. Yeah.
Also, when you get
So yeah,
Ethereum,
we'll see. I've got a few minted.
don't let go of
Yes.
the Ethereum. Hold on to that. It's going through the roof in the next few years.
I
For those
see
listening,
that.
this is not
Nuts.
financial advice. This is
No. I'm cool saying it. Buy Ethereum.
yeah. Buy Ethereum. We all I feel like we all own Ethereum at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we're not finance doctors.
We're not, but we're doing well.
Yeah, no.
Can't tell.
Yeah.
So if you guys go check out the Foundation app, Shannon _ is it 2 underscores?
2 underscores.
2 underscores. What? Who has the 1 underscore?
Yeah, it's 2.
Just to be difficult. So no one on Foundation that I know of,
I'm assuming it was Instagram.
but I lost it. I lost it on Instagram, and then I got it eventually.
Just
Yeah.
get
but
Nat
then I'd
Geo
already
to
established.
just get Nat Geo to get it back for you. It's like, hey,
they-
this is mine now.
Yeah.
They've got
sure.
back end people for
Yeah.
that stuff. My favorite one
I mean,
is
yeah, they're not busy at all.
Yeah.
they got people for this. All right, we were talking about this before the podcast. Polar bear shot. How far away were you from him
Oh,
or her?
the portrait.
Them. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was close. So that shot I did with a 70 to 200 mil lens. I think I was fully extended to 200,
Okay.
so still relatively close. So I'm actually looking at the picture in front of me now. I have a framed print on a
that's cool.
bench.
That's a pretty
in
cool
front of
shot.
me.
Yeah, it's
So
a cool shot.
I was on an icebreaker. It was my first trip to the Arctic. First year I went, and I was on this icebreaker. And so you know how like on ships they have all these holes for like ropes
Yeah.
and water to go out and stuff. So we had got so far north that we'd kind of hit pack ice, and that was as far as we could go. So we were going to spend like the night there before we kind of reversed out. And it's summer, so 24-hour sunlight. And finally, in the distance, we see this polar bear coming in, and it's all just like beautiful flat pack ice, so as far as you can see. So we could see this bear coming from ages away. So we're all ready, and we're like out on getting all different shots. Russ is filming, and how the ship had sort of hit into this pack ice, some of the ice had kind of pushed up onto the side, and it made like a little elevation. And so this bear was very, very curious. I have all different shots of it, with it's smelling, like its nose is going left and right really dramatically. You can smell, the people on the ship, obviously. And it was very curious. And at one point, it put its paws up on the side of the ship and was looking up at us. It's trying to work out a way to get on. And so I laid down on the deck of the ship and was shooting out of one of these holes. And he just like walked up, stepped up onto one of these elevated pieces of ice, stood up on his hind legs, and just kind of came up in frame. And so that's uncropped, like as shot.
Yeah.
He's kind of just right there for a moment. Did some shots. I had my lens so that it was maybe just poking outside of the ship. And so he might have been a few feet from the.
Wow!
I knew it.
So so the background is just the ice, the floor.
That's all the ice. Yeah.
Oh, that's why I thought it was further back.
So I have a.
Wow.
Yes, because there was so much dramatic distance. Like he was so close that everything falls away so dramatically. Because from memory, I shot it at like 2.8 f4 or something like that.
Wow.
Like I shoot very shallow.
Yeah.
So actually, I'm focused on his nose, like right here.
Yeah.
And it's just starting to like
flatten out.
Pull away. Had lots of. I mean, he spent hours around, sniffing around the ship, going around and around and off. So we have all this footage. I've got loads of photos from it of all different, like wide shots, all sorts of things. So I mean, the first year I went to the Arctic, because I used to run photographic expeditions there.
Yeah.
That was the first year I went, and it was still the best polar bear sightings I've ever had.
Wow.
Amazing.
That is
just like the image of a polar bear coming up to your ship and just like being like, "Hey guys, do you have some Coke?"
I'd eat
Coca-Cola?
you if I could.
Wow, that's amazing.
So they do drink Coca-Cola.
Yeah, they drink Coca-Cola in the wild.
Like
right?
that's their main form of sustenance.
Apparently, yeah.
How did that even happen?
That
I have no idea.
and some marine mammals.
I don't understand how Coca-Cola was able to be like, yeah, we're gonna give it to some polar bears.
Polar bears. Yeah.
They drink it.
Yeah,
and that's our ad
We're not gonna
campaign.
explain
We don't
it.
want to pay any models.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone in the art department was just like, just paint a polar bear. I don't know, man. I just want to go home. Oh, this is brilliant. That's it. And then the leopard self.
For everyone
go
wanting
check
probably-
this out.
for everyone wanting to see these amazing shots, you can go either to Shannon's website, shannonwild.com, or Instagram, Shannon__wild. I'm sure if you type Shannon Wild,
If you type in Shannon Wild,
it'll come up.
It comes up.
But honestly, highly recommend this follow because unbelievable shots that you probably won't be able to see anywhere else. These are the kind of shots that you see in the Explore page, uncredited by some pages
that some people just steal this.
Yeah, that want to repost. These are the kind of shots that and you're following straight from the source. So Shannon__wild on Instagram.
Stop stealing people's stuff.
Stop stealing people's content.
And if you
give credit.
If that's
right,
give credit to the account. Tag them in the picture
and in the caption.
The caption. None of this half-ass tagging.
Yes.
at the very least.
Tag both, and if you really want to be
Exactly.
respectful, message the person whose content
see
you're
if
taking.
you can share it.
And then be like, hey, is it cool if I repost this? And
Yes.
be like, well, you could buy an
That's
NFT.
our little rant to end on.
That's what we're ending.
Absolutely.
But
yes.
most importantly,
You guys are allowed to come on the trip.
yes. There we go. That's what we're ending on.
We hit all the requirements. We'll send our CVs later.
Do not forget, Shannon's company, Wild in Africa, makes these amazing bracelets. And if I'm correct, it's actually 50% of the sale price, not like a percentage of proceeds.
Right.
actual
Exactly.
50% of the money
Yes.
goes to just an amazing, honestly,
13 organizations.
I'm super pumped about the pangolin one, just
Oh.
because
More coming as well.
those poor
That's
little
awesome.
guys got a bad rap
Yeah.
in the last year, and I think they need some help. But
I know.
wildinafrica.store, they have
Yeah.
amazing stuff. Go check it out. Honestly, this has been such a fun conversation. We'd love to have you on when you could talk about your secret projects again.
Your contracts that don't allow you to mention things.
Your NDAs with the big...
Your job.
Damn, now I'm going to have to go out and get some jobs to like look like I've been doing something.
Well, you got
Go back to
the
the free shoots for a little bit.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Shannon Wild. I'm
Yeah,
here for
exactly.
I'm here for the puppy shoot.
Shannon, thank you so much. Tell Russ we will be coming for him next because we want to hear his side of all the stories so we can fact check. Thank you so much for bringing
A true treat.
bringing these images to the world. Like what you do is really,
thank
really
you.
important. It's, you're definitely inspiring another generation of photographers, cinematographers, and I think it's incredibly important to really capture nature in
While
its
it's
purest
still there.
form. Yeah. Well, hopefully
Hopefully
it does it.
Yeah.
a nice change happens in the world where we can have these environments and these ecosystems
Yeah.
for, generations to come to enjoy.
So thank you so much. Go follow her. Go
Absolutely.
support her.
Thank you.
And we'll see you on your next trip, whether you like it or not.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it, I think.
We'll come for you.